Welcome, everyone. My name is Janae Bieland. I am the new Director of Fundraising and Philanthropy at Special Olympics Oregon. I joined the team on December 6th, and our joke that we're just going to go throughout the whole plunge season is that I dove right into the deep end. And I will actually be doing my first plunge in Portland. We just finished our plunge in Bend, Oregon from last weekend. And it was really, really wonderful to be able to experience it and see the energy. A little bit about myself. I just moved back to Portland after living on the East Coast in DC after 17 years. Born and raised Oregonian, born in Woodburn. Went to University of Oregon, and Special Olympics and Special Olympics Oregon is near and dear to my heart. And so I'm so, so grateful to have joined this amazing team at the state office. But as I've been able to realize, all of the amazing members throughout the state, such as you all who have been plunging with us for a long time or who might be new. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we can best fundraise and work together to support the plunge. And so if we go to the next slide. So I know that some of you are joining us and have done this for a long time. Some of you are brand new. We are recording this so that people can listen to it at their own time. We just want to give a quick overview about the team structure. So why do you want to join a team? You can absolutely plunge on your own, but there's something about being part of a team, that kind of competitive nature that rallies your support. And as a captain of that team, what we're looking for you to do is to be able to inspire people to join your team, to fundraise, and to really think about what this really means for you. I want to point out that we talk a lot about the Polar Plunge, but we also have the 5K. And so we'll have the 5K in Portland, we'll have it in other places throughout. And so this is also something that you can do to really motivate people to run, or if I was doing 5K this year, it would be walking, but I'm gearing up for next year. So as a team captain, what we really want you to do is to really take on the role of setting the tone for your team. So if we go to the next slide, it may seem like there's a lot of work to do as a team captain, which there is. And so I always recommend finding a cohort, a co-captain to really help divide up the work. A team size can be, as we said on the previous slide, 2 people. So there can just be 2 of you, or it can be up to 20 or larger when we look at our school programs. So having somebody who's a co-captain will really help you maximize your fundraising experience. You want to look for somebody who really likes to engage with others, who has a good portfolio of contacts, who's good on social media, who can really balance out things that you may not be as good at. If I were starting my own team, I would grab Taryn because she's absolutely phenomenal with all the social media, and I am still a Gen Xer who's kind of okay with it. So it's good to have those co-captains that really work with you. On the next slide, if we look at team tips for success, let's make this as fun as possible. I would probably move that to the first one, but it is our 5th one because we want you to always think about that it's the last thing. Polar plunging is a lot, it's cold, but the fundraising process and the plunge itself is inspirational and fun, and this shouldn't seem like too much work. So choose a really cool name or a theme that can help you. I have been inspired by the super plungers and them choosing the 24 different themes that they're going to have for every hour. If they can do that for every hour, we can do that for our team as a whole. Set your fundraising goal. I set mine pretty high this year because it was my first out the gate. And so I personally set one for 2,000. Probably not going to make it, but I'm already up to 1,300. So if you set a goal, then you know what you can reach for, and people can really help you target that. And as you're targeting that, you want to see, like, I am constantly checking it, or as I told Joe, my mom is checking it for me to see who's donated and is really excited about it. And said, you're at 50%, and we need to get you to 75%. So having those kinds of goals and conversations with your team members to really help rally them, or to see if there's somebody who's having a difficulty raising their actual goal themselves, is a really good supportive nature of your team captain. So lead by example. We talk about donating yourself. And so starting off, even if it's just a $20 donation, if people show that you're invested in your own fundraising, they also want to invest with you. So I have a couple of examples of current team structures. If you go to the next page, that are just really simple and easy. We're spotlighting the CRB Social Club, and the team captain is Caitlin. You might recognize her. She is a state staff member, and she has modified her team page very simply to show past team members in the picture, and then just put in here a very quick bio that this is a CRB social club, that we're plunging for the 4th year minus COVID, and puts in there that, you know, donation would be pretty neat, but donating and joining us would be even cooler, and how everybody is welcome. So you don't have to put in paragraphs and paragraphs, but something that makes it unique to you and really will pull at the heartstrings and hopefully at the purse strings of the people that you're going to be sending this out to. If we go then to Caitlin's page, on the next page, you'll see that her own page goes a little bit more into it, that she has plunged for about 15 times. She's lost count, that she loves Special Olympics Oregon, and that she really wants to have you join her. And she's changed her own picture to show, you know, this is who she is. On another venue that we have Sun River PD. So Sun River was just in Bend. And they're one of our police departments that support us. And they talk about how their efforts, that the reason why they're doing this is to really show the terrific athletes, coaches, and volunteers and families, specifically in their area, their love. So they're one of our longest supporters. And Keisha Weaver is actually the person who brought the plunge to Oregon. And so she's kind of a big deal. I got to meet her last weekend, and that was lovely. So she has her own page, and she talks about how she's been plunging for 17 years from the very start, and what this really means. And I love her picture that she was actually in her full uniform going out there. I want to point out that even though Bend just had their plunge, you can fundraise all the way through the end of March. And so that is something that's important and that people are still going into. We have a lot of competitions too. We talk about who are the top teams at the actual plunge. And at this last weekend, Sun River was second, right as where we're announcing it, but then they slid in some money right at the end to beat out their other competition, which was Bend Police Department. And so there's fun competition and fundraising there as well. So going into fundraising best practices, I'm sure that you all can share some of these with me. And so if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please put them in the chat. Personalizing your fundraising pages, as I just showed, statistically, that can increase your fundraising by 30%. Having your own donation on average will raise your fundraising levels as well. Donors that see that you have a goal are motivated. I know that when I was really close to my halfway point, all of a sudden my cousins came out of the network and woodwork, and they started actually donating to get me over that. And so that was really great. And then personal emails and pleas. That can be hard. Not everybody likes to ask for funds. They feel like it's really, difficult and challenging. And so at SOAR, what we've done is we've given you some templates that I'll quickly go through. But at any point of your fundraising process, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And you can even just quickly email our Polar Plunge at SOR.org, and we'll get you whatever you need, because we want to support you in your efforts. And then plan a fundraising event. You could have a barbecue or a raffle. You could work with your organization and say, hey, can we pay $5 to wear jeans at work? You can do car wash, bake sale, etc. So I have a couple of examples of this, and we're going to start with my personal superhero right now, Chris, who is our plunge manager this year that we pulled back into it, and I have been so thankful for his assistance and his wealth of knowledge. But here we have a fundraising bio. Chris is super plunging for us this year. And Chris and Joe put these together. You have a very quick about me. So you just have like 4 bullets that are there. We have a picture. You have why super plunge and plunging matters. One of the things that we're really focusing on this year is to ensure that everybody who plunges and who supports a plunge knows that they're supporting our Special Olympics Oregon athletes. And that's what this is all about. And then we've been really great with the QR code so that you can just zoom in on this on your phone and then click on it and go right to the donation. So if you want a flyer like this, just email us and we can help you create it. You can hand out these flyers to your businesses. You can put it up in windows. You can post it on social media, family reunions, wherever you're going to meet people who are going to fundraise for you. You can hand these out. And I just think that they're really great. And then on the next slide, we have our sample emails. Now, this is a part of our fundraising packet that you can find on our website. But if you want to have this, you can copy and paste it. You can ask us about some additional information. Taryn and Patrick on our crew have been working on really what is the marketing voice that we want to have to really show why this is so important, how we support 5,000 Special Olympics Oregon athletes, how they are participating in about 12,000 different programs. And so what that means is that we have multiple different sports and they can partake in any of those. And so we want to talk about that and what that actual impact of Special Olympics Oregon is. So another fundraising idea is a fundraising raffle. Now, these fundraising raffles, you can do it at your school events, at community meetings, or even on Day of Plunge if you let us know. So this was just from last weekend. If you zoom in, you can see it's a 2023 plunge. This was Sun River Police. They decided to do a raffle the day of our event. And what they did is that they collected gift cards, services, and merchandise from local areas and just had it right there so that they could do it. They also did a 50-50 raffle that people could buy tickets for. And as many of us know, for 50-50, whoever wins get 50% of the profits of that fundraising. So we were able to have them set up and we were able to use Square and get that collected, and it was really successful. So these kind of fundraising raffles, they are not that difficult to do if you have your community connections and if you have meetings. And again, I'm happy to help you set up any of these. Next, we have what we call our icons. I call them donation pledge cards. But what these are we have a huge stack of these Special Olympics Polar Plunge cards that you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. And what you do is that you work with a local business that you can have this little brochure put up that says, by donating, you provide 5,000 Special Olympic athletes access to activities. People write in their name, they donate their amount, they can fill in that amount, $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever they want to do. And the business collects that information and money for you, and then you go and you collect it from them. So we are happy to give these to any teams that might have businesses that they want to coordinate with. And then next, this is something that our Joe Harvey created, and I love it. This one is currently for Super Plunge, but we are creating one for all the polar plunges that you can do. And it's the 800 challenge, it's the bingo. So you can do this at any kind of event. You can do it on social media. You can have it in, again, a coffee shop. And what it is as people donate, you mark off the square. So if you donate $5, that's marked off. And when you do this all, you can raise $800 total. And so it's another kind of quick way to visualize the fundraising, but also inspire people to give to your team or to your local fundraising efforts. As a reminder, we have our incentives. So if you want to incentivize some of your team members, if they're getting close to raising their $50 or their $250, $500, or the top 100, we have our t-shirts, our towels, our sweatshirts, and our long sleeve shirt. But then we are also doing a competition where the first 100 to 1,000 on the next slide are qualifying for 2 round-trip tickets to Alaska. We're going to select the winner in about exactly a month, March 14th. And there are still 60 spots remaining. And those tickets, I mean, you can go to Hawaii, you can go to Mexico. It's a pretty amazing deal. And we're very happy to have our partnership with them. So that was, I talk fast. So that was a lot very quickly. I just want to open it up to any questions, comments, suggestions that you all have, since I know that you've done this for a while.